Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to NGS Season 15. Today we're casting... Oops, that's not Div A, it's Nexus. The Nexus division. The teams are Gambit Gaming Creed versus Can't Connect Stuns. I also have Jotak as my co-caster.
Hello.
Familiar face.
Hi.
Super excited to cast these teams. I watched Gambit's game last week. Very exciting. We're going to BOE, and they're already in draft, so let's just get right into it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what their game was like last week. I didn't see it.
Well, spoiler alert!
It's okay.
Gambit Gaming Creed crushed it. They dominated 2-0. CCS, I don't believe has played a match yet this season, so this will be their first match.
Okay.
You and I actually played with CCS, Can't Connect Stuns, in Div B last season, and now they're here in Nexus division.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of jumps up.
Steve Rise.
Roster change.
Looks like they've added Porky and Shredded Wind. I don't believe either of them were on the roster last Div.
I don't
not
think
Porky.
so. Would explain the jump in division, definitely.
Yeah, very strong players.
And so, Battlefield of Eternity, we're seeing
very fast speedrunning the draft.
Yeah, very meta picks going. Junkrat, Johanna. Johanna's like the best defender for the Immortal with the blinds and the unstop. And then Hanzo, a good racer. Not sure about the Brightwing. Maybe they just don't want to deal with it. And I see Gambit Gaming picking up the Lee-Ming, who, yes, is a good racer, but it also feels kind of like a target ban for Eric. And I know Eric plays a really good Lee-Ming.
Right. Yep, you see it looks like top lane Blaze, which is relatively normal. Blaze is really good at controlling all those little chokes with the oil and provides a lot of space. Even if he doesn't have the best race, you don't really look for that too much from the off lane. See, the Arc is being banned. That's interesting.
I'm assuming that's a percent damage ban, but that's kind of on the opposite side, so maybe Entomb.
Yeah, I imagine these are probably more targeted to the teams and the players. So I don't think you'd see that if they didn't know someone was really good at it. Tychus ban does make a bit more sort of traditional sense. Tychus is a really good race too with Drill. People usually go Drill on Battlefield.
Cho'Gall.
Okay, yes. Maybe we see a little bit more reason why.
Will memes be had today? Today we find out.
Do you think it's another healer?
I don't think so. I think when you run Cho'Gall, you kind of want to run like a consistent DPS. Like,
I think they want someone who can sit on the burn at least.
Yeah.
Like who can pressure it a little bit, but I imagine they're gonna be wanting to fight. Yeah, Malthael comes out as the tech counter.
Maybe another bruiser. Maybe, I don't know, like a Karazim or something.
Malthael is, I feel like of all the counters to Cho'Gall is one of the hardest, is like the least consistent, because he does have like Molten Core, and if you draft other...
The stasis.
Okay, they take a grenade, so you're right, they're just looking for a race.
Well, not just race. Early game Cho'Gall isn't very strong, so you want to be able to keep up with the other team in like skirmishes and stuff, like over the camps. Like you can't just let them walk all over you just because you pick Cho'Gall.
Yeah. Yeah. With the Lucio, that Cho'Gall's rotation's gonna be really quick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm interested to see the combo, like how many people can Blaze stun, and then Cho'Gall just rips everything, level 10.
I mean, even looking at these drafts, like I don't actually know who wins race here.
Oh yeah.
I actually think it's the Cho'Gall draft is better, just because of the Grey Mage. It's so fast.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I think I'm higher level to play. Like, prioritization is low, but so much of the game really is So I'm gonna ahead and introduce Gambit Gaming Creed. We've got Alfie on the Diablo, Batmang on Rhaegar, Gingy Boy on Li Ming, and Eternal Blue on Sylvanas. Oop, missed one. And LXT Rex on the Malthael.
LXT Rex.
And for Can't Connect Stuns, we've got Porky on the Cho, Shredded Wind on the Gull, Slick Rub on the Lucio, the Main Ski on Blaze, and Eric on Greymane. Level 1 talents. I'm seeing Teleport, Aetherwalker for Li Ming. Bit of cheese bot with that Sylph. Lucio and Cho'Gall coming down. They're gonna get this sidewall and the tower.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of value, but Rhaegar is looking very low here. Greymane kind of looking for the other Wolfie boy.
Does get away with the swiftness of his move.
Top lane. Malthael getting rid of that vision.
And I imagine that, I mean, it's hard to say, but I imagine that the Cho'Gall is just going to want to play relatively safe and get to that level 16 tower space.
Yeah. I'm thinking that they're gonna do a little bit of both when it comes to the race, like defending, just kind of harassing the racers, eating Qs and orbs from Ming while Greymane races on the left. And so CCS is giving that first camp knowing early game, kind of rough.
Yeah, and they also had a call on the rotation. Malthael had roam down just to make sure that they're going to get that camp without any problems. Blaze recognized that quickly and started this camp. And actually this Greymane rotation is really, really smart because Malthael would have been here in time to stop it, but Greymane's like, no, we got to make sure the top gets this camp. So that's a really, really smart rotation.
Yeah.
It would be really easy to forget about the Blaze and then use that camp top or disaster.
Yeah, I really like that rotation, knowing that they gave up bot camp, so just find value elsewhere they can hold.
And it's like a half level lead right now, but that's going to even up a little bit. And we're going to be seeing teams probably hit bruisers relatively soon. Yeah, we do see Blaze has picked the minion clear talents, which makes sense. Level 4 is online for both sides.
Looking like a classic totem build Rhaegar here. And Q build Diablo.
I think the first immortal on Battlefield is always the most sort of blasé one. You don't really necessarily need to race, and blue team is picking up some more structure damage on that wall since they were ahead on the bruiser.
So Gambit Gaming Creed got their camp quite a bit earlier than CCS. It's crashing as CCS grabbed theirs. Yeah. So Malthael is stuck clearing this for a little, but he's got some of the best camp clear in the game. Wouldn't be too bad.
And it looks like Red is going to start burning a little bit. Diablo gets some stuns. Oh, shoved into the second son of the Immortal. just a hair too close to that circle.
And Eric doing a good job of kind of like kiting around the Diablo as they hit the Immortal, looking out for those wall bangs. Because he is the most important hero for the race.
Yeah.
Wallbang on that Lucio. Diablo's just going in with that Q build. Ooh. And the orb with Malthael!
Wow.
That is insane coordination and focus on the kill target.
Yeah, that was very nice.
The Immortal's very low though, so they're gonna be stuck here on defense while Sylv races.
Yeah, they elect Sylv to be the one to burn it. So it looks
Wallbang.
like Diablo got a flip and then
Blaze.
Nice body block.
Completely body blocked, cannot move into the stun.
Gross.
And they're just pushing this Greymane away.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to get that last bit of damage here. They don't have any real siege.
Right. Sylv, it's taking it not
slow.
So fast though, and they're a little out of mana, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes out. They're doing a really good job bullying.
Blaze just spawned, but I don't think they're going to want to make a dive here.
Yeah, Cho'Gall is backing, so they're just going to go ahead. Yeah, give that first one. Such is the consequence of Cho'Gall early game.
Yeah. And honestly here with this push, I would be less afraid of the Immortal. The downside of this is that blue team has very good siege damage just on their own.
Right.
So it's like the black arrow. Immortal playing top lane. It looks like blue's going to push with it. All the offlaners take bot.
That's good, because you did mention they had good siege damage.
It
Cho'Gall gets flipped, decides to go all the way around.
Looks like we see surging push build with Cho or build with Gall.
Wallbang on the Greymane immediately into the Immortal Stun. That's insane.
Wow!
But he gets out.
Incredible.
I was thinking high five would sure be nice right about now, but they're level 7.
Oh, but
Cho'Gall's getting
so
ripped
low.
apart. Oh,
is the Lucio
the
healing
damage
up?
over time. Oh my god, with
Just barely.
like 20 health left.
Damn. Okay. Well, they do get the fort for that. I can't believe they all got out alive.
Yeah.
Actually, Diablo almost fell too in that exchange, but
Blaze is running for their lives, knowing Diablo is coming.
nice play by Lucio. Did save both of them, I think.
Walked away just in time. That's a sign of a good map awareness from an offlaner.
Yeah, good map awareness.
Like 1.5 seconds later, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. Actually, it's pretty hard to get good Blaze despite not having bunker.
True. And Cho'Gall wanting to get in on that camp before they.
This is a 4v5.
That is true.
Malthael is making their way.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah.
They decided never mind.
Yeah. If they got onto the point, I'm sure that would have been a.
So this does appear to be Calamity Lemang. And like just Hugo here for Diablo.
I wish I knew more about Diablo builds.
I think this build is meant to blow up a target because later you also get armor reduction. So especially on this Lucio, where you can get the wall banks too, and Cho'Gall. They've got lots of armor. You want to pop a target like instantly, especially with the main. Greymane is not getting out of this one, unfortunately. And that's level 10s for Gambit Gaming Creed.
Yeah. Playing a little bit too far in that vision, does get caught out.
Malthael grabbing this camp, so now Blaze has to clear it, but they're not going to be able to do the objective without that Greymane.
Yep.
And they're just making their presence known here. Popping Mind Control,
wow, Diablo's doing
and
well.
Black Arrow.
APOC, last rites is going to finish him. Do you get 2 stacks? Last rites?
It looks like just one.
Just one.
That.
Yeah, that level 10 power spike is brutal.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to get a really nice lead on the race. So far, the only nice thing about Red's position is that Blaze is pushing out top, so their lane states are very good. They are going to be able to start that Bruiser, which means they could probably cap Bruiser, get level 10, and play for halftime.
Yeah, I think they can play for halftime.
And then, you know, if they get a good fight here, they could win the objective. It's very possible. But they need to make a fast play, I think.
So we've got Hammer of Twilight, Sound Barrier, Bunker Drop, Curse Bullet, and Twisting Nether.
Yeah, and we do see that they are positioning very aggressively, wanting to try to use the fact that they still have 10s, and they know that some of the 10s are down. APOC is gone, Last Rites is gone.
They also have the camp pressure going.
Oh, Mind Control on the Cho'Gall. Oh my god, he's just blown up. Damn.
Yeah.
That's just too much to see. Crazy. Bunker is getting dropped. I do not think he's going to get out.
He's making space.
It's...
Space is being made. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Alright.
So this is definitely going to be an Immortal for the side of Gambit Gaming.
This one's going to hurt, I would say. Because they're obviously getting this fort with that.
Yeah.
They may even get the keep.
I would imagine they're gonna get at least the keep wall.
I think the wall, yeah. It doesn't have shields. And they're ready to defend it.
It's tough because the side of CCS is very melee. Like Cho'Gall's even kind of melee, right?
Yeah.
Blaze, Greymane.
They really need to get in there.
So they can't really kill the Immortal easily,
right?
Unless they're fighting,
like poke
actively
at it.
fighting, which is not something that they want to do under an Immortal with a talent disadvantage.
So not a single death on Gambit Gaming Creed so far in this match.
I think, oh, Mind Control catches the Cho'Gall, the Taskmaster does shove him, and now Diablo's got a bit of a situation with that charge.
They're pinging the sidewall.
Yeah, Ancestral comes out, it's probably going to keep him alive. Cho'Gall's getting
very
low.
APOC. Sound Barrier does help that Cho'Gall get out.
Yeah.
I misspoke. There is a shield on this Immortal.
Yeah, this is looking like you might have been right in the beginning. They're going to get hit.
Well, they have good siege damage, and they haven't lost a fight. They haven't lost a skirmish. They haven't gotten picked off.
Yeah, and they still got a talent advantage for like a year. They aren't going to push for 4, it looks like. I'm not sure.
Mind control
Mind Control
again,
Cho'Gall,
but Blaze eating a lot of that damage in the front. Mortal going down.
Remains healthy.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can always just say you're scaling, right? Which they are.
Yeah. The game is never over.
But how are they going to get to 16? They're going to need kills. And this could be one.
Ooh.
Unstoppable, actually, is kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Escape there. Going to have to be content with taking the top camp. And then probably leaving as fast as possible because we see Blue is rotating up top. And Handing's going to want to keep flexing their talent advantage if they give them a free opportunity for that kind of fights.
Diablo's just looking to make it happen.
Running. Catches the Cho'Gall, but
doesn't need a wall bang.
Cho'Gall says, no, you.
No, I'm the beefy boy.
And it looks like, they're going to get 13s pretty soon, which will give them some sort of relatively equal position for a team fight. And I think that would be the time that you want to try to get that comeback
Blaze
speed.
being out, trying to get the safety.
Oil
the slow with the APOC.
Does catch him.
Does get the combo.
Does he have bunker? He does. So he's fine. And
70-second cooldown on the ult, though.
Greymane's going to...
Great Ancestral isn't enough to save him, though. They're all going in. Greymane really wants that Diablo. Getting popped by that Li Ming, though.
Not quite enough damage.
And Malthael was not here for that.
So. And they didn't have level 13 quite yet when that all happened.
Right.
So just an inch too little damage.
We've got heavy casters on Lucio, collision course for Blaze. 2, I think, really important talents.
Yeah, we do see the Molten Block coming in to stop the last strike.
Yeah.
It's good talent.
Cho'Gall going the long way around.
Ooh,
stun for the E!
And they might catch one. That's
Sylvanas gets moved back by Lucio.
That's huge, and now they're going to want to keep fighting here.
There's no bunker yet. Malthael doing a huge % damage. Just sitting in there.
Is he gonna get caught,
and
though?
he gets the cocktail. Cocktail's OP.
That was nice. Those are the kills that they needed. And
yeah.
They're gonna be able to start race. They have enough time to clear this wave as well, because there's 2 down, so they can send one back. Blaze is back. They want to just make sure that they don't lose anybody and they get some damage from this Immortal. Looks like they even want to start fighting here. Nice stun. Catches a Dread Orb. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Cho'Gall is very low.
Thank you for the raid, Ektar.
Hello. Half-time's probably going to be triggered very
So they
soon.
were chased off of this objective by the 3 here.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be back to a 5v5, and unfortunately now they have 16s. So now, even though they just had those nice picks, they don't want to fight again, which will probably mean they're going to have to give another Immortal. But it does look like, I mean, this Immortal's going to go top. If it does end up going to blue side.
Looks like they're just going to chip away at the Immortal as much as they can before...
Wow, whose race is faster?
I don't know. It looks like Gambit Gaming is on top of that one. They've got the lane pressure Blaze has got to deal with, and Diablo's running top, leading the team to victory, potentially.
I don't think you're too disappointed with this, though, because there's no shields, you didn't lose anybody, you're playing, you've got like a full health keep, and then your core is still full health, which means that they're going to get 16, and 16 is a huge level for them.
Yeah.
So
the state of the map is such, though, that it's going to take a lot of
comeback
potential.
They're going to need a lot of good team fights once they get 16. It's not over there, but, it's something, right? Mind Control does whiff, so that's something as well. Black Arrow comes out, disabling the keep. They're getting a decent amount of damage on
Yeah,
this
it's almost halfway done already.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to end here, barring any hero kills.
Diablo's looking to make it happen.
Bunker
Oh, the
gets...
APOC!
Wow, it's soul read on the APOC.
Oh my god, that bunker! But Blaze
anyway.
Sound Barrier saving the Blaze,
Nice.
and Rhaegar gets picked
Even
off.
if Blaze dies here, which he doesn't, they're getting so many counter kills. That's
That
Rhaegar,
16
Diablo,
powerful.
Alpha.
They haven't even picked their 16. All we know is that
Aye, aye,
Lucio
aye.
took that percent healing.
That's
no doubt.
okay. Wow,
Woo!
that's 4. What are they going to do with this? I mean, you go bruiser camp, do you push
we'll
the lane,
see.
do you do a mixture of both?
We've got assist pings on the camp. By what team? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for structures here. Yep, just going to go for top forts.
I'm surprised this camp is getting taken by Gambit Gaming.
I think that's good awareness, because it's not like they're going to be able to hold them off. They recognize really quickly where they're going, and they're going to take what they can get elsewhere on the map. It's
Yeah. And bot
decision making.
lane pressure is going to be there forever.
Yep, yep.
They don't know if they're keep. Same thing with top, unless they keep pushing out these waves.
Yeah.
They're calling the invade now.
They have to take this fast, because they don't really want to fight. They don't have time for a big long fight here and not lose core health. So, yeah, they're just going to leave. Yeah, Blaze is backing. He can deal with it on his own. Look might try to get that top camp as well.
Ooh, Sylv looking for that.
Yeah.
The cheeky backstall so Diablo can engage. Oh, and he's looking. Seeing that Blaze is clearing by themselves, Diablo is checking the bush.
I think that Gambit had an opportunity if they were really fast to try to contest at that top camp. They were all up. But it's hard, and they're also clearing waves. So playing
it's very easy to forget that you need to clear the lane or you will lose your structure.
And we see Immortals coming out, and there's going to be no real Merc pressure except for Katas. So they'll have some time to play around and look for a good position for a fight, both teams. Looks like the fight's going to take place around Red Immortal, Cho'Gall, Dash.
Which is not a great idea to fight under the Immortal that, you know, belongs to your enemy team. So they've opted to walk away from it, which is a good idea. But Cho'Gall is bringing the fight to them.
Wow, that's
Diablo just explodes!
Insane. And then looks like they're chasing. Sylva's going to get low. She did use her E already, so it looks like she has no more escapes.
Nothing else.
Melville's looking for a safe place to back, maybe.
Oh, there's a wall here. He's like, wait a second, they can see me. And now they're on the way.
Nah, they decide it's more valuable to just get the objective.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm just gonna go over here.
Blaze is going to clear up those lanes. Halftime, and I think this is a full Immortal, right? Death timers are pretty long now. They're not going to be able to contest.
Another 30 seconds on the Sylvanas, 20 on the Diablo.
But that's okay, because Gambit Gaming had such a high map lead that, you know, they can afford to lose a team fight and still be very much in the game.
Yeah.
So even though this Immortal will be going over to gank the next stuns, it's okay.
The problem here is trying to clear it without losing as many structures, with also not fighting under the Immortal.
Yeah. It's like, what do you... I'm wondering, too, because they engaged so fast, right? It's like, it felt like they didn't really have a position to just engage, like, Blue was backing off, but then they just jumped on the Diablo and one-shot him, like, that's crazy.
Well, it looked like, you know, the whole game, Gambit Gaming wanted to find those engages, right? They're running Diablo. But then they found themselves under the enemy team's Immortal.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was not a great spot to be in.
Now we see it going for the Diablo again. Where is their burst coming from? Is it like all of this?
They've got Curse Bullet,
yeah, bullets, Twisting Nether,
Surging Fist?
That's true, it does percent.
Yeah,
so all of that combined with just burst the tank there. That's impressive. Immortal is getting chunked pretty reasonably.
We've got level 20.
Yeah.
CCS coming out with the level 20 first.
Being behind all game.
Unkillable. Bunker, Blunderbuss, and
they're even willing to give this keep, it looks like, despite the fact the Immortal is almost...
Well, they don't have 20. They're just about to get it. And so they're picking it now. We've got the Mind Control CDR. No one can stop death. Ancestral or Farseer's Blessing, Hellgate, and Telrash's.
Nice. And that Hellgate will prove to be, I'm sure, both a defensive
Yeah, to catch someone out of
need.
position and to get out from all that burst. Look at this.
Interesting
Bush
positioning
gang.
there. Looking to...
They're on each other's side of the map.
Yeah.
But they're clearing lanes, which is very important. So they've decided to just find them.
Yeah, it looks like they're wanting to just try to look for lanes. It's very, very anxious gameplay.
Yeah.
Diablo looking in this weird
How did this happen?
Was the fight happening here? Okay, both teams just on the edge of their seats. Brawling. You would think...
In this position, it looks like CCS belongs on the left side.
Oh my god, they're getting a lot of poke damage on the Cho'Gall, but Diablo as well is low.
So that's the molten block. Yeah.
And sound barrier.
So worried about last rights, but oh my god, the burst on that Malthael. He's not worried about last rights.
But Malthael's back.
Oh,
so
true.
It's still a 5v5.
No one can stop death.
They really can't. Oh, Mind Control catches the blaze. Can they jump on him in time?
He's already used bunker. Okay.
Quite. Damn. Well, that's crazy. That's just so much damage from both sides.
Somehow, CCS has picked up 9 kills when I believe it was like 8-0. So they've scaled. Both Bruiser camps are getting taken.
Yep, and Immortals are on the board, and this is probably the last Immortal, I would imagine. It might not be, but it's very likely the last Immortal. So this is a very important objective. Looks like Red's probably going to clear Bruiser first, and
which
then look
is
for
good
a fight.
for them.
Yeah, because they have a huge wave top,
Yeah.
and Blue is looking. Gambit Gaming's looking to fight quickly. Get an orb. Diablo is
Lucio
hungry.
getting chunked by that Malthael.
Yeah, and Blaze got flipped and is now very low.
Blaze
as well.
has bunkered like 1 second.
Saves from the last right. Incredible value from the unkillable, but it looks like Cho'Gall's going to get caught out, and I don't think that they have any way to stop.
Blaze had bunker in literally like 0.3 seconds before he died to damage over time from Malthael. That was so untimely. But, you know, can they end it? We'll see.
That's crazy.
Shield is still up. It's just the two of them. I don't know. Can they make enough space? Sound barrier going off. Immortal stunning them. And that's the DPS gone. Mind control under the Lucio.
GG has been called.
That was actually a lot closer. Is that the Cho'Gall effect?
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it was like just both teams were on each other. I wouldn't, looking at these drafts, I would not have expected to be so much burst damage from both sides, but those fights just happened instantly.
Wow. I wonder if they're gonna ban Cho'Gall in the next game.
Maybe. I mean, that's scary. It's a scary pick.
Very similar healing numbers here. Li Ming coming out on top.
Yeah. That was a lot of their bursts as a follow-up to those Diablo charges and combos, was that Li Ming.
KDA gaming on the Lucio. 100% screaming KDA in chat. Well, that was a fun game to watch. It was very... not backwards. That's not the right word.
No.
Back and forth? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder what map we're going to next. I want to know, like, just how many sources of percent damage each team had. So we've had Greymane with Curse Bullet.
Yeah. Is Jet Prop 10%? Is there one that's...
I don't think so.
No, it's just extra damage.
I think it's armor?
Well, the 13.
Yeah, it's armor.
Yeah, just extra damage. There's the Surging Fist one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's 40?
It
It just felt like a lot more, honestly. But this talent, the CDR on it is ridiculous. You could just use it like every 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and the burst on Twisting Nether is legitimately very good. It's like, okay, it says it's 353 damage, but Gall gets so many percent increases, you know, so he's doing so much bursts.
All Alright, and the new lobby's up. We're going to Infernal Shrines.
Ooh, very cool.
Let's see. Let's update the score here. They won it. Assuming they picked. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that last game was both teams were really playing to where their strengths were, and in the end it did just come down to some crazy team fight. Which
Yeah.
they were definitely a little bit caught out in the end, but
yeah,
it's just things happen so fast.
Well, that's also the power of Diablo, and I feel like the reason that people run Diablo in high levels all the time is because you have the power to engage with agency and just make stuff happen. Which is what they did with Cho'Gall earlier, and how they like turned things around for a while. So hard to dive the Li Ming, though, which is where all their damage is coming from.
Yeah, but I mean, we could see from the fight before that they didn't need to dive the Li Ming because they could just dive the Diablo.
Right, yeah.
It
was kind of like which team engaged first.
Yeah, it felt like it. It's like they just killed the Lucio and the Blaze at the same time in just a few seconds.
Like, you decide the situation in which, you know, you're positioned against the enemy team. Seemed like they had the advantage.
Spicy fights. Cho'Gall on shrines?
I've seen it before. It's a little harder because it's 3 lanes. You know, lane coverage is not that easy. Fighting over camps, if you're just giving them up for the first 5 minutes, it's not easy to come back with all the lane pressure.
You know, I always hear when people are commentating Cho'Gall games, a lot of people think, oh, people pick Cho'Gall, they must just be trolling.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cho'Gall is a troll character per se.
I don't think so either.
It's possible they're just having fun, but...
Yeah, no. They did a really good job with it. I feel like Cho'Gall is one of those, like, it's a last pick, because you can counter it kind of well with a bunch of % damage.
Yeah.
So they were able to pick up the Malthael, right? I'm not sure they would have had Malthael if they did pick Cho'Gall. Ooh, we're in draft, and I'm not showing it.
The bans are on the way. They're just being locked in immediately. Augur and Junkrat, Mephisto, these are all very strong Shrines bans. Really good point control, clear. We might even see a Leoric come out as a ban here.
That's true.
Blaze is another option as a ban here. Just for, like, you know, Storm League Shrines bans.
Yeah.
This might not be the right ban for this match.
One healer I see work really, really well on this map is Deckard.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Oriel, but Deckard. I agree with Deckard.
Oriel's good in every situation, am I right?
You are correct. Johanna, yeah, that's fair. Blaze is picked up first, so see the priority here on that Blaze. And I know the Maineski plays a lot of Blaze too, just in general. Really likes Blaze.
Thank you for the follow, Aaron. Yes. See what they pick up. Oh, the Leo.
Tychus.
Tychus a very good pick on Shrines with Odin, % damage.
Yeah.
Hello, Jake and Imbuement. Imbuement, I missed running Diablo Toronto with you. I played with very few Diablo players that I feel like I have that kind of synergy with. Oh, and we're getting the Genji and Brightwing. I'm surprised it's not an Anduin. Lightbomb Genji. So free. Okay, it's not free. But it's very hard to very hard to escape, and you have to plan around it constantly. Imperious ban. What does that mean? And the Diablo ban. They may opt to pick their healer last, now that all the bans are gone, Brightwing has been taken. Probably definitely see a tank here. Very enthrall.
Oh.
That's
pretty fun.
That looks like 4-man thrall.
Yeah. Probably is.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm assuming variant is for the Genji. And then I guess pops whoever gets taunted. Thrall for some extra CC in the team fight, some percent damage for Blaze. Even deny Brightwing Z with the root.
Sylvan ETC.
Very cool. Not a ton of interrupts for Mosh Pit. Maybe if they go Sundering and Grenade. That's about 2. Silence into maybe.
Yep.
Stukov.
Yeah, it makes sense. Variant Stukov. Classic tank healer pairing.
Yeah.
And this is a very bruiser heavy team.
Yeah. Which they all have quite, some self-sustain, which helps Stukov keep the team alive.
Mm-hmm.
You think Red has a hard time confirming a kill? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like Genji is the kill confirmation. But they are pretty beefy on Gambit Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having a hard time deciding who I like.
That's true. There's no cleanse from Stukov, but I believe that's kind of why they picked it last, because they're not too worried about all the CC. I don't know.
Yeah.
ETC really locks down a target, so I'm kind of surprised they went Stukov to basically cleanse this. Oh,
yeah, I can't even really visualize how these fights are gonna go. I mean, I know that's in the format, it looks like Thrall's gonna
go. Oh, giant 4-man Blade died, and Thrall gets popped immediately.
Blaze is the damage dealer.
This is true. And Variant's just a minion right now, so they kind of have no tank.
Yeah.
And Genji's already going up here to bully that
bully Leo.
Offlaner.
Yeah.
Just Genji things.
This is what he does.
Excuse me. And Leo has officially been bullied in his lane.
Mm-hmm.
First to see that as an offlaner. Ooh, silence. Not quite in time to confirm Eric can't leave.
Yeah, blue is definitely playing to that level 4 for now, but eventually they will be very scary on these rotations. They'll have a lot of ways to keep someone locked in between roots, taunt, and Stukov, so pustule, silent.
Oh. Okay.
This dude. He's like, you got a level 1 variant. What you gonna do about it?
Oh my. Well, he was doing his job of keeping vision on the enemy team.
I mean, you might say it's BM, but on the other hand, maybe that's just a taunt, like another taunt ability. D-stepping. Catches the root on Genji, silence, and they get the kill.
That's not even low blow, that's reactive ballista spores.
he dodges the drain.
Camp's crashing. Leoric here to help clear. Gonna have... Blaze is gonna have this prio. Looking at this rotation. Just kind of bugging him. Level 4s. We do see Master Assassin taunt. Let's see, go to reach. Biotic armor.
Gambit Gaming does take the contested middle camp. Wow. Connect stuns takes the bruiser first.
Thanks for telling me, Jake. I will remove the intro because I was like talking through it. So I'm just gonna remove it for when I load up the game again. Both bruiser camps are getting taken.
Yep. Connect stuns gets theirs first, but they also have to clear bot lane. And Gambit Gaming will actually pick theirs up, I think, at a slightly healthier time for this Shrine. I mean, hard to say. Shrine is actually already up, but they're going to be feeling pretty good for their setup right now.
Experience mostly even.
They might actually just push bot with the Sylph and the Black Era. It looks like they are. Yeah, they're going to go for this wall.
Not only that, the first Punisher is not the strongest.
Yeah, this is big value. You always like getting a free wall in.
Right, and they're not even getting objective.
Yeah, because you force them to deal with it. Like they don't want to lose this for free. This makes sense.
So Root under the ETC, kind of looking for a taunt here.
Not really able to find anything. They do chase them off.
But Leoric did palm the objective as I looked over to it. Is losing a bit of structure damage to that camp and Blaze.
They do get a slight lead on the objective.
Oh,
oh that's... that does happen.
He's eating some tower shots, but...
He will get away.
Yeah, still gets out with half health. Right wing getting so bot. Objective leaning toward Gambit Gaming.
And looks like CCS isn't really wanting to just give this up for free. I'm gonna go jump onto the Leoric. Look, it's stunned. Yeah, but doesn't need it.
Z to the Genji.
Ooh.
Right wing uses the cleanse.
Wow.
Gambit Gaming is very beefy, especially with the extra bio kill on Reactive Ballista Spores.
Comes out, but he does get chunked away. Train on the Genji. The arc's very low.
They only need 7 more of the little Punisher minions.
Yep, and
whatever they're called.
CCS realizes they don't really have a chance anymore. Might as well just back, set up for this defense. And
they have the slightest experience lead here.
With the Punisher that's this week, do you go for the wall or do you just go for their camp? Looks like they prefer the wall instead of the camp. Because, I mean, they could maybe still have time to get camp here. It's a little risky. They're probably just going to go for their own.
Brawl with not the best wave player, but I'm looking forward to his value in the team fights later.
Yeah, Brawl is such a high skill character to play. I feel like it's so squishy, but does so much damage and has so much utility in the team fights, especially with that Sunder. Great CC follow up. And they're going to try to invade and take this camp from red.
Nope, Blaze is top, so...
Yeah, 5v4. It's just general good positioning. Does get that camp just for free.
Blaze going ahead, grabbing a little bit of mid, going back top.
Yeah, I really like how they've been rotating.
These camps are now pushing mid, and they are going to come and clear it. I was going to say left uncontested, they get the structure. There's 2 waves of 2 camps.
And Gambit Gaming gets the bottom camp. And Blaze has gotten a little bit of the wall, or the top side, almost all of the wall.
Level 10, so we do see the Odin and Tomb.
Interesting.
Blink Heal, Mosh, X-Strike, Thunder. I expect with Mosh we're going Living Weapon at level 20 for Genji, but you never know. Things may change.
Yeah, pretty much all the expected talents have come up here.
Yeah.
Nothing really crazy. And there's the Silencer as well. Silence on the EPC. Quite enough damage to threaten the tank.
Ooh, Leoric looking for the engage in the 5v4 for now.
Catches
on
the
still. There's a root.
Mosh is out.
Probably a little too deep for Stukov to put the silence full under that. And Odin gets popped here. Pops up the Genji. He's getting very, very low. Huge Wailing Arrow. 5-man Wailing Arrow.
Yeah.
Everybody starts to walk away because of it.
Yeah, crazy back and forth. Lots of big ults on both sides.
Yeah.
Big mosh, big sunder, big wailing. But in the end, everybody's okay. They were so close to that Sylph kill at the beginning. Okay, looks like another fight. Big slide, but they're catching the Blaze in position. Right wing.
Right wing needs a blue. Okay, Poly works too. Poly's open.
Lots of folks getting out just for the skin of their teeth.
And the score is even. 1-1, very even in experience.
Both bruisers on the board again. Shrine is up, so I imagine both teams will get those. Gambit's starting theirs first. And, I mean, in terms of ults, actually, it looks like... Well, the only thing that will be really missing for Red is Mosh. I think they'll have Wailing, and Odin will be both back up.
Depends on how soon they start fighting on the objective, because Wailing and Odin are both missing as well, just for the time being.
Yeah, those are the other ones. Okay, on to the EPC. Silence a little. Oh, does go for the EPC.
He has crowd surfer, but if he gets silenced...
It's tough. With the bunker, there's not really any more possibility to get that kill, and now Tychus is low. Nice by the variant blocking that jet pop. Does save the Tychus, and they do get the EPC.
For the EPC.
Nice, and they're going to try to look for more. That's maybe a Blaze, almost definitely a Blaze.
That is a
Do they have taunt on anyone else? Maybe the Genji? Not quite.
Game-changing ult.
Yeah.
Looks like they may not need to use Odin here, and they can use it for siege damage or a big team fight later on instead.
Yeah, and that's nice that they're gonna try to get a counter kill on this Leoric top because they know they're not gonna be able to contest. Yeah, Leoric is dead.
And now they're pushing structure with black arrows.
Yeah, and it's possible that, you know, them getting those forts is gonna give them just as much as what blue is gonna get off the Punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Black arrow's down now, so hard to tell.
Go ahead and grab this camp mid too as well.
Yep, and they're gonna get bot camp too. They might even 39 and hold to get their other two camps. I think I prefer that. Okay, they don't. But they're gonna get bot camp, so it's fine.
Ooh. It's amazing that people understand the range on the Punisher, because I don't.
And how do you feel about popping Odin here? Okay, they're looking for Blaze.
Well, theoretically you want to save Odin for the objective, in which they already won.
Right.
So, in the next case, you want to use it for structure damage, which is what he's doing. So, I think it's fine.
Yep. And that's still a very healthy Punisher, but
yeah.
They've got bot forward. They're deciding they just want to get mid fort as well. I mean, they might even at some point rotate up to top fort with all the times they've got here. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't get that too if they want it. They are actually going to be looking for that. At the very least, top, well, ooh, the Sunder just gets them on the other side of it.
EPC looking for this flank, but the rest of his team falling a little behind. Will be there for another few seconds, so he's staying out of vision.
Yeah, EPC can't go in yet, but...
Now Genji's here.
Here? I mean, if they turn on the EPC, he could just die.
This is true. So Juana's clearing mid.
That's one of those, like, is my team behind me, or are they not kind of situations.
Yeah.
And you do gotta flex that as a tank player. Okay. Oh,
they're a little split here.
Yeah. No slide onto the variant though, so it looks like
Tychus.
Dak was this is the jet prop too.
Everything.
He's got the schmoo.
Taunt onto the Blaze. Grenade to follow up. He's very beefy though, and Thrall is still going at this camp. ETC checking it out though.
I don't want to give it up.
They've got big R buttons.
Yeah, and no bunker, so that's something.
Is that a
That's a
mod?
mod, but he's a Sunder.
Oh, and then there's the
Sunder who used it. So
the X
no
Trial.
interrupts. They're kind of living.
But Eric was zoned out for that mod.
The defensive self-silence, they're going to look for the Bright Wings. Very low. Does die. Oh, the swipe saving the Odin. Kills the Genji too? Wow. And Gambit Gaming is looking to just take a really strong mid-game lead here.
Yeah.
2 levels, level 16s, 2 players down. They have the whole map to play with. I mean, they're going to have to siege somewhere because there's no camps except for their bruiser, but it's going to be difficult for them to stall too much. And the timers are low. Okay, now actually both camps are up, so you can take...
Rob is doing quite a bit of camping, which is not necessarily what I believe he's strong at, but he is sort of kind of the offlaner here because they've been engaging or disengaging with Tomb. They're taking a very aggressive flank position here. Wraith walk probably to just Entomb right off the bat, but...
Yeah. And, you know, they still have 16, so if Wraith goes for a fight here, it's still a little ambitious.
I don't feel there's a need. No 16s. You can clear the camp.
Just a bruiser. And they're going to get 16s in a second here. Oh, they're looking to catch someone. Shrine is up in 20 seconds. How many of these camps are they going to want to get before? Got a big wave. They got to clear top and bot, actually. So I wouldn't mind if they even just choose to macro here a little bit.
Well, what's unfortunate is that this Punisher is top lane, which is the only lane that Gambit Gaming Tree does not have a support in.
That's the only... Oh, and they're going to invade the camp. That's good thinking. And they might
be hopping onto that Stukov.
Odin is popped, so they want to fight. And they don't want to... Oh my goodness. He's low.
Alive.
Nice.
He's alive. Oh, pops the But Odin finishes the kill.
It's rough because you can't really get into that bunker, right?
I mean, you kind of can if you're like waiting on a cooldown, I guess, for like deflect or something. Yeah. But I was not expecting Odin to reach that.
It's tough. That's such a rough kill to give away in this point in the game.
Yeah.
Prime just came up like a taunt.
Got crowd surfer 7. Oh, the taunt! Blaze just walks right out of the Entomb because everybody was looking for that EPC, which is worth, honestly. You get a pick, you get a pick. Doesn't matter how many. Well, sometimes it matters how many ults you spend, but...
It was good pathing by Blaze to avoid the Sunder and the Entomb. Okay, they're gonna get the objective. And this will be pretty free. They're gonna clear that really fast, even if it's just the Auric. He will kill those very quickly. Actually, he didn't gun jump up.
They're pushing. But Blaze himself, knowing there's not much they can do with other tank. Pushing out those lanes. Okay, ETC's back up, and they are looking for an engage.
Ooh.
Dodges the Blaze stun.
Despite being in the oil. Just a nice movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huge slow.
Yeah, CCS not wanting to actually give this. I mean, they've got 31.
They got a little bit of time.
They want to just
They're
fight.
They're flanking them here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're gonna accept a fight very happily. Corky's very low. Mosh misses, gets sundered anyway. Jet prop hits the Leoric and nobody else, and Blue is looking very healthy.
Eric is really deep in here. Very gonna finish that kill off.
That should be a dead
likely.
still. Two finishes.
Two.
Oh, he's away. Actually, Stukov is dead after all that chasing. That's insane. And
Oh
Thrall is
my
still
goodness,
chasing.
how did this happen?
Oh no! Retreat pings are being
They're
called.
really healthy
Wait,
though
Thrall
for
is dealing
now.
damage.
Tychus is dealing a ton
2,
of damage.
3
this is
maybe?
going crazy. Oh, Crowd Surfer gets him out.
Oh my goodness.
And Swift Strike. Okay.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure that
Wait a second. Is this okay to be up here?
No.
Oh, under the Punisher? It's gonna get something before it lands? Okay. Here too.
They're asking for the business.
And this is a Mortar Punisher. So these level 20s, I did not mention that big red button. Sunder CDR.
This is a keep, right? It's definitely
Silent Entomb. Ooh, that ECC is getting very, very low. Okay. Lord to the Alliance healing banner, and I switch.
Mortar Punisher is...
I'm sorry. I knocked over the mic.
Punisher is punishing.
This Blaze is stuck in the Silence Entomb, but...
And they're not gonna try to... Here... Punisher hitting the...
Gambit Gaming Creed has only lost one port.
This is true.
But it is far enough into the game that a full team wipe, they could destroy that keep and win. CCS, so. Ooh.
Oh my god. They're killing them from behind the wall.
So Odin gets popped here. They're gonna push down these keeps.
Yeah, they've got 20 for another half level. They're gonna try to getting more structure damage while they can.
And this camp is pushing now. Looks like this keep just belongs to Gambit Gaming.
So, big red button.
Still got a quarter of it left.
It lasts forever. Level 20. Okay, level 20 is online for red team. We see Bunker, X-Strike, Blink on ETC, and Wailing upgrade.
We do see Living Weapon from the Genji to get more value out of that Mosh.
Yeah, that's the resets, right?
It's unfortunate there's no true cleanse for ETC for the Mosh.
Blue team is getting all of the null camps. Red team might try to invade Bruiser, get it for free. Since they know where they are, it's just gonna be a trade. And the thing is, they have got that Sylv, so even if they wanted to, instead of going for the Bruiser, go for top, I think that might have even been a better choice. Just get a ton of damage for free. But I figured this recall.
Is the back gonna get interrupted here? Oh no. Different bush. Oh, just made it out of there. Just playing on the back foot here. We do have invisible friends. Deafening blast. Upgrade.
Infinite stuns. And some waves cleared.
Gambit Gaming's like, we have all the lane pressure. We can play kind of slow to the next objective, in which we have Odin. Dance party.
They can play it very slow.
Disco party.
It's just one of those hot moments. This is
gameplay.
Yeah, this is actually high level gameplay.
Yep.
People might not realize, but this is the right decision.
Are they dancing? No. They're scared. Are they? Checking the vision.
The shrine dance has begun. 5 seconds until it spawns.
Lane pressure does belong to Gambit Gaming, so look at this pick on Thrall.
Thrall. Oh. And he just does get one shot. Tauntaun to the backline of Brightwing, looking for a cat kill, doesn't get it. And now Blue is in a proper 4v5. Silence Tomb will not
There is a bunker, but body blocked by that very, very thin space.
X-Strikes? No X-Strikes coming out. Looks like it was used already earlier. So this cannot go well for Gambit Gaming. The arc from the backside, unfortunately, is playing for people.
They're fighting under the tower now, which is a little risky despite being 3v5.
Yeah.
And they've got to make something happen pretty soon, get that objective. Don't want to take core damage. Got Genji backing.
A nice catch by CCS on that Thrall. And now Gambit Gaming is just going to have to sit tight and deal with Punisher.
Yorick looking to re-engage, maybe?
Wow.
Oh, the huge entomb! If there are enough damage to follow up, though, Lurking Arm a little late, but also not low blow, so not the damage follow-up they're looking for, but variant.
And they're getting this Sylv in the backline just with the taunt variants.
Oh, but Stukov!
Sunder defensively.
Oh, yeah, Sunder actually makes it so that Living Weapon, or X-Strike, misses a bit.
Sylv does go down.
She really wanted it.
Punisher has arrived.
He's angry. It's the frozen one.
It's the worst one. Or the best one. Weird fight.
There is some lane pressure, though.
Yeah,
it's not insignificant.
I think they want them to just not back here, really, but it's hard to actually do that. I mean, they started that fight intentionally 3v4ing, and they knew that Genji wasn't there because he was clearing. But it's a weird, weirdly successful decision. Look at the core health.
Oh my god! Like I said, not insignificant.
Yeah, I think, you know, they still have the backs just a little longer. That's... Canvas could just end. Oh my goodness.
Very gonna solo the core, I believe.
Yeah.
That is so unfortunate.
So the trade was one
fort.
outer fort from objective for 65% of the core. I mean, I don't even think you're sad about that.
I don't think you are.
Like, this fight's...
That's their reward for getting to keep so much earlier in the game.
Man, that's crazy. After all that, I feel like CCS has to work so hard for these team fights.
Yeah, they really do. It's kind of all about comboing those ults and getting your pick. There's so much silence coming out from the side of them.
Oh, silence.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
but once again, lane pressure. They keep having the back.
Sunder. And they're just like, they're just running at him 5v4. No fear.
Well, they want to make use of the lane pressure because, I mean, look what happened last time.
Yeah.
Varian's going into that. Okay. What's interesting about Invisible Friends is that you cannot use charge from Varian to get that taunt off. I still don't know who's gonna win. And we're 24 minutes in.
Well, it's gonna come down to one or more team fights.
Yeah.
Around objective. And Infernal Shrines 2 is one of the slower maps.
Yeah, I agree.
We get into this position a lot.
This
Does he know?
Yin and Yang. I don't think he knows.
Silence Tomb and blow him up? I mean, I do know. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, Liard flank though.
Ooh. Not
ghost.
able to pop bunker. Okay. Gets it with about maybe 5% of his health left. Polly to prevent the taunt and Invisible Friends.
Oh,
whoa,
huge
that's
silence.
massive.
Genji.
With Odin, however,
God,
look at the resets.
X-Drake. Oh.
This is what we've been waiting for, but
enough.
Genji does go down.
It's not enough.
Odin is super powerful. Blaze just barely being able to make it out.
One more dash and an auto. Yep.
That's probably game.
That is going to be game. No question. Gambit Gaming only need to kill 35% more of this core plus shields. So, well, three X strikes was not enough.
I don't have a healer, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. The return V-step.
Right.
Okay, stun. Core's doing damage. Thunder. Okay, Blaze is gone. Alright.
At 2-0 for Gambit.
Yes, it is. Well then. That was indeed a very good mosh. Let's take a look at... Okay, so Thrall and Varian dealing quite a bit of damage. And Leoric, honestly.
Eternal Blue on Tychus. Op Siege.
Yeah, Odin is massive. Big Red Button is massive. I'll see if they would like an interview. As this was best of 3. Sending Gingy. Okay. Let's go to casting lobby 3. Gingy boy. With the 4-man Thrall. Great Sunders.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Psychotora says always go Sundering. I'm
That's
not a
true.
big fan of using the word always in HOTS, but it is a pretty good ult.
He did say always go Sundering.
Yeah, he totally said that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna YouTube it? Yes. It will also be on Twitch for, I don't remember, like 14 or 30 days? Hello.
Hello.
Spokesperson for Gambit Gaming Creed.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said hello, spokesperson for Gambit Gaming Creed.
Hello, hello.
Congrats.
Thank you.
How long have you been on Gambit Gaming Creed?
So this is our second season as a team entirely.
Okay.
So, but I've been playing with most of the guys for a long time.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I think I've cast you once before, at least. A very, uh, memorable stitches, I think.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I was honestly surprised at your guys' draft. I had no idea how it would turn out. Um, Especially no cleanse, running a bunch of bruisers. uh, where where's the thrall pick here in the second game? Where does that idea come from?
So our main idea going into that game was going to be triple bruiser,
Okay,
just
cool.
because we love it on that map.
Nice.
Our first pick was going to be Hogger, but obviously it was banned. So we were thinking about switching off because we thought they were probably going to do it. So we were switching into more percent damage with the Tychus and the Leo.
Mm-hmm.
But then they showed picks that weren't heavy frontline like that, and
Right.
so we wanted to switch back, and there weren't a ton of good options left. But Thrall has been seen as a really good four-man bruiser,
Yeah.
just because he brings a lot of damage
Mm-hmm.
and CC.
Yeah.
So we just sent it on the Thrall. There was no like real big reason. We were just
Yeah.
like, we want to do triple bruiser. Let's just take Thrall.
Okay. I mean, it really worked out. For game one, actually, when they picked Cho'Gall, did that game go, like you thought it would?
It kind of went how I thought it would. I knew it was going to be really tough. I knew, we all knew you have to beat Cho'Gall before late game, right? You got to beat him before level 16.
Yeah.
And I think we did a good job of doing that. We won the early game objectives. We got a lot of structure value. We got the kills. But then we just had a tough rotation or a tough fight on one of the objectives where two of us weren't able to get out.
Yeah.
We died, and it just kind of rolled from there. But that was like their strongest moment, so we just kind of tried to reset and pull through because we knew that was their power spike, and we just had to figure out a way to reset and get the fight that we wanted.
Yeah, I think all those early advantages really made it so that you guys could win that game safely.
For sure.
That is how you play against Cho'Gall. Plus, you had Malphale, so.
Yeah, it was a surprise pick. We just
Right.
Rex hasn't played it in a while, and Batman just said, "Why don't we just go Malphale? We need something to deal with Cho'Gall."
Right.
And he ended up playing a great job. The last fight, he did really good, zoning out the Lucio.
Yeah, I saw that.
And turned it. He
absolutely
really
cooking him.
was the reason we won the fight.
That's what I was saying earlier, is that I don't think people generally run Malphale. But when you see the Cho'Gall, you're like, maybe Malphale.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. Do you guys play against these opponents quite often? I know they had a roster change, were in a different div before.
Yeah, so we were actually in the same div as the old roster last season.
Oh.
So we actually played them a lot. We love scrimming
div B,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we're pretty familiar with all of them. So it was a fun game. We had the B stepping. We taunted each other.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's friendly B stepping.
I'm assuming that's what Porky was intending. I was just returning the favor.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, well, congratulations on the second nomination. You guys are doing great. So far, lots of good teams in this div. Excited to see what's next. If you want, you can make a shout out.
Yeah, shout out to both teams. It was a great series. And then shout out to the team especially. We always have roster issues and we've been working through it really well. So I hope it continues. And then shout out to you. We always love casters and we appreciate it every time. So thank you.
Of course, yeah. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll probably end this stream there. So have a great night.
You too.